Hey everybody, welcome back to Daniellability. It's Danielle, and today I thought we would talk about kids. One of the biggest questions that I get asked is whether or not I get offended by the comments that kids make or the questions that they ask. And the answer to that is no, absolutely not. I love kids and I love hearing what they're curious about, and they're just finding out about the world. So they're curious and they're trying to figure things out. The thing that can be frustrating for me is how their parents respond, because a lot of times when a kid asks a question, their parents get scared and think that I'm going to be offended, so they either shush their kid or, another example is a couple years ago, I was at the mall and I was behind this mom and her kid, and I wasn't in a big hurry. I was just going along like normal, and the mom didn't notice me at first, but then she happened to look behind her and saw me, and she pulled her kid out of the way, and I could see on the kid's face, they were like, "What's going on?" And in my mind, that's going to teach your kid to be afraid of wheelchairs and to be nervous around them, where if she had just said to her kid, "Hey, why don't we get out of the way so this nice lady can get through?" That's such a better way to handle it, because it doesn't make it into a big scary thing. It's just like, "Hey, here's this person who happens to be trying to get through." If you notice your kid staring, you can, if you don't want to have them talking to strangers, you can say, "Can you wave to the nice lady?" Or if you're okay with them talking to somebody, you can say, "Why don't you say hi?" Or, just turn it into a conversation, a personal interaction that's going to make them feel comfortable. And it's also going to put the other person at ease, because they're going to see that, oh, you're teaching your kid to see them as a person. It was really cool because a couple of weeks ago, I was in Target, and there was this mom there, and I went past her and her little girl, and I heard the little girl say, "Mom, why is that lady rolling around?" And it was so cute. Like, how could you be upset at that? She's just like fascinated. And I was so thankful because I heard the mom say, "Oh, that's just how she happens to be able to get around." And it was so great because her mom immediately turned it into, you know what, that's just how some people have to do things, and that's just how they function. And it was just a total simple explanation that the kid could understand, and if they had more questions, they could say, "Oh, why?" And then maybe the mom could say, "Oh, I don't know, maybe her legs don't work," or, just saying things in simple ways that are gonna get your kid to like not say anything else if you're embarrassed, but is enough that makes them not afraid to ask questions. I guess the biggest thing is to just remember the importance of treating people with disabilities like people, and show your kids how to do that and be the example, because the fact is they learn from you and from observing you. And so if you handle the situation in a way that is personal and is comfortable and not awkward, they're gonna pick up on that. I will say that when I was a kid, it was a little bit harder when I would see other kids staring or when they would ask me questions, because at that time, those were my peers. It wasn't like I was old enough to explain my situation and to realize that they're just kids and they don't know. So it was a little bit harder when I was little, but thankfully my family was always there to, help and make it not an awkward situation. If they saw somebody staring, they would say, "Oh yeah, isn't that interesting that she sits in that?" And so you have to be that for your kids. If you have a kid with a disability, you have to be the one to create that personal interaction and to make people feel comfortable, because then your kid is going to pick up on, "Oh, it's okay that I have a disability. I can still be confident and have conversations with people," and they will pick up on the language that you use to explain their disability. So if you talk about it in ways that are understandable and are easy to communicate, they're going to carry that over into, as they get older, they're going to learn, oh, I need to explain this in ways that people can understand and be approachable so that people aren't afraid to ask questions and that kind of thing. Another situation that I've had happen is I've had kids come up to me and they want to push me, and their parents are mortified because they're like, don't touch her, because it is personal space, which I do appreciate, but I think you could handle it just by saying, it's so nice that you want to help, but why don't you ask her first, or something like that. And then if I don't want to be pushed and they ask, I can say, oh, I've got it, but thank you. But more likely than not, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, of course, it's not a big deal. Because, my nieces push me all the time and I love it. I love that they want to do that with me and for me. So it's not something that I'm offended by. But those are just a couple of my thoughts. I would love to hear some of your comments. And if you have more questions, I'd love to answer them. If you had a specific situation and you're wondering how you could have handled it better or differently or whatever, comment below and let me know. I would love to hear about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.